Welcome back to our series on Milton Friedman. I am Tabo, your host here at 1 = 1. In our last episode, we talked about how freedom is like a two-sided coin. One side is political, and the other is economic. Today, we are going to talk about the glue that holds those two sides together: money. Most of us think of money as something the government just makes or manages. But Milton Friedman had a very different view. He revolutionized the world of economics by looking at money not as a magic wand for politicians, but as a physical tool that can be used or misused. He became the father of a school of thought called monetarism. Have you ever noticed that the price of a chocolate bar, a burger, clothes, and cars always seems to go up? We call that inflation. In the 1960s and 70s, many experts blamed inflation on greedy companies, powerful labor unions, or even bad weather. Friedman looked at them all and said, "You're looking in the wrong place." He famously said, "Inflation is always and everywhere a monetary phenomenon." What did he mean? Imagine you are on a desert island with 10 people and 10 loaves of bread. If everyone has 1 rand, a loaf of bread will probably cost 1 rand. But if I suddenly airdrop 100 rand onto the island, do we have more bread? No. We just have more paper chasing the same 10 loaves. The price of the bread will skyrocket. Friedman argued that inflation happens for one simple reason: the government prints too much money. It's not the greed of a farmer, manufacturer, or shopkeeper. It's the failure of government. And Friedman famously maintains that inflation is a hidden tax on the people. Friedman used this logic to solve one of history's biggest mysteries. What caused the Great Depression of the 1930s? Before Friedman, most people thought the Depression proved that capitalism was broken and that we needed a big government to save us. But Friedman and his colleague, Anna Schwartz, dug into the data and found something shocking. The Depression wasn't a failure of the free market. It was what he called the Great Contraction. The Federal Reserve, a government agency, allowed the money supply to shrink by 1/3. Imagine trying to run a car when someone suddenly drains all the oil. The engine stalls. That is exactly what happened to the American economy. Far from proving we needed more government control, Friedman argued the Depression proved how dangerous it is when government bureaucrats make huge mistakes with our money. Because he didn't trust politicians to fine-tune the economy, Friedman proposed a simple, boring solution: the K% rule. He believed the money supply should grow at a steady, predictable rate every year, say 3%, matching the natural growth of the economy. No surprises, no stimulus checks that cause prices to spike later, no political games. For Friedman, a stable economy requires stable money. When the rules are clear and the money is sound, you are free to plan your future, start a business, and save for your family without worrying that the value of your hard work will be inflated away by a printing press. To conclude, Milton Friedman's core message was simple: a free society depends on free individuals, free markets, and the moral conviction that voluntary choice is always superior to force. He wasn't a utopian. He just had a radical confidence in what ordinary people can achieve when the government gets out of the way. Thank you for joining us for this series on Milton Friedman. I'm Tabo, and remember, you are free to choose, but you are never free from the consequences of those choices.